Yeah, it's almost historical kind of circumstance, if you will.
Mm.
A lot of Milwaukee's early industries, so going back to European settlement and shortly thereafter, a lot of those early industries like brewing,
Mm.
tanneries, other sort of food and beverage related activities, all needed supplies to fresh water.
Mm.
And so essentially a lot of the European immigrants came over here and had all this water from Lake Michigan and the tributaries going into the lake. And so,
Mm.
they could use that to essentially supply those industries. So we have a history of very water intensive manufacturing in the region.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as those industries matured, they needed pipes and valves and meters, to measure their water use and
Mm.
to, measure water quality and quantity issues. And so, as those industries grew, the technology to support it grew up next to those industries. And so it's a bit ironic because, maybe 15, 20 years ago, with consolidation in the brewing industry and a lot of the heavy manufacturing, like, tanning and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
some of those industries, either moved out of the region or overseas, or, just the industry changed. And what was left were all these water technology providers. And so it's what we call almost a natural ecosystem of water technology here in the region. And then the universities, you mentioned UWM, so they've got the country's only graduate school of freshwater sciences, and Marquette's really developed a specialty in terms of water law and water policy. And so it's just interesting how, the technologies and those tech companies remain, like, Badger Meter and Rexnord and some others. And then how, the universities just started developing, expertise and sort of an academic focus on fresh water. And so it's become this, like I said, an ecosystem. We've actually been written up, the region, not just the Water Council, but the region
Mm-hmm.
has been written up a couple of times and sort of held out as a best practice nationally and internationally, from like the Harvard Business Review to
Oh, wow.
Brookings Institution. So yeah, it's really interesting, and it's cool because it's a homegrown sort of success story.